Welcome back. This is part 2 of my conversation with Susan Moody. She is a self-proclaimed serial entrepreneur who shared the story of the loss of one of her businesses in our first segment. I'm Maria Tomás-Keegan, your host for Tips for the Transition. Susan is the inspiration behind a new book called From Resilience to Brilliance. And it's available, or will be available, on Amazon in early July. And I'm honored to share the inspiring stories of the women who co-authored this book with Susan, because they help us to know that we're not alone, that other people have experienced what we're experiencing. When life turns us upside down, it's good to know we're not alone. So, Susan, thank you so much for sharing your story. There are many women who are listening who likely have doubts and questions about what it takes to be successful in a business of your own. And I know you've gone through a lot of emotions on your journey. So would you share some of that story with us?
Well, I would like to share that I think one of the things, I don't know why I was caught by surprise for this, Maria, but really learning that, I felt like a total failure when the business shut down, when we closed the business. And, I had my own tape going on in my head about, gosh, I let myself down, I let my family down, blah, 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 blah. But then there were people that were almost like happy to see me fail, right? It was like, and that was like, you're supposed to be my friends and support system. And it just totally surprised me and hurt me, right?
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh my gosh, I'm looking to you for support and you're kicking me when I'm down, But one of the things that I really had to do is like, I have enough self-doubt in my own mind. We all do, right? Especially when we're going to take on something new and challenging. Can we do it? Should we do it? How are we going to do it? We have those own self-doubts. And I had to shift. I had to make a mental shift that it wasn't a failure. It was just feedback, and to learn from the experience. What could I learn from that? Because we do. I mean, it hurts our soul. Like I said, it was losing my child, right? Yeah. And I had to go through a grieving period. Yeah. And I did honor myself and take that grieving period of time. And I took like 6 months because there's a lot of things I had to undo from the business, and also to get myself mentally, right? Build my self-confidence back up, because I totally lost my self-confidence. And then how was I going to build that up, and what was I going to do? And I said, what lessons are I going to learn to move forward?
Wow. I'm sorry, you struck a chord with me when you said, I had to think of the failure as feedback. Mm-hmm. What a brilliant way to shift your mindset. So tell us a little bit about how did you do that?
Well, part of that was when you own your own business, a lot of it has to do with your mindset. So because I've had all these different businesses, my mindset is my most important asset. Because if I think I can do it, I'll figure out a way to do this all in my mindset. Mm. So part of that was having to remember, and actually I will share, it took a good friend of mine to help me make that shift myself, because when you're so in it, right, you forget. We look at all our failures first before all our successes. And one of my friends came up to me and she goes, Susan, how many businesses have you started? And I said, all right, about 10. She goes, well, how many have failed? And I said, well, this one. And she goes, well, then you have a 90% success rate. So you have to help me, because when you're so far in it. And so part of that is really honoring, and when we look back and we're reflecting, especially when we're going through these transitional times, that we look for our successes first and stop looking at our failures first, right?
Yeah.
That's what we do. I mean, we naturally go to all the times where we were gathering that feedback.
Yes. What a wonderful friend you had to help you shift that mindset. I like to talk about becoming your best observer If we can step back, step outside of the situation for a moment and look in objectively, and sometimes we need a friend, a coach, or someone to help us do that. So you were so blessed to have such a good friend.
Yes, I am.
Yeah. Are there any other thoughts that you'd like to share around the emotions that came up for you during that time of feedback?
I think with the going through that grieving process and really taking some time to reflect on that, and then how is I going to move myself forward? Because we're in those tough times. We either going to give up or get up, right? And so I had to take that time to say, what am I going to do? Am I just going to be a victim, right? There was a lot of people that felt victimized by what happened with the economy. And there are other people that said, okay, this is how it is right now. What are we going to do next? And so making that mind shift also, because I could have gone down that well of despair, right?
Yes. Yeah.
And I had to consciously choose not to and pick myself up and move on. And that is also a big trait of when you have your own business. When you're an entrepreneur, you pick yourself up and then move back on. Get back on that track.
That's right. Get on the horse again.
Yeah.
You said give up or get up. One of the things I use a lot with my clients is give up, give in, or give it all you've got. And you give it all you've got, always. That's one of the things I admire about you. Thank you, Susan, for sharing those insights, kind of giving us a peek behind the curtain of, even successful women like yourself can fall down. And when you pick yourself up, you've learned something from it. And in our next segment, I hope you'll share with us some of those lessons you've learned. Okay, so please stay tuned for our wrap-up conversation with Susan. Till next time, I'm Maria Tomás-Keegan.